Right after the flood, I asked one pregnant woman to name her baby Muskan. Muskan means flood. So many kids could have been named Muskan. So many Muskan kids were born displaced in almost 8 years. People who were kids when they were displaced are coming back with babies. The 2011 man-made flood diverted water from Winnipeg and Portage La Prairie into our homes at Little Saskatchewan First Nation. Most people were forced to evacuate away from their home.
Water was like surrounding our whole house, and it was like we had a little island. But it got worse, it got deeper, and the water was getting higher. We used a canoe to move. We just took our clothes, our blankets, and pretty much just lost everything. It was hard because we were all separated and we wanted to make sure they were safe. There was people getting stuck all around, and we got too lonely for each other, and in that 1 year we must have moved at least 10 times.
Vera Anderson and her family moved to Fairford, a nearby community. She wanted to be close to home.
When we had to move, we had to leave everything. We only had a bag of clothes, that was it. That's all we were able to take, was just our clothes. I was pregnant at the time, and my dad said because the road was being washed out and everything, and that I wasn't able to stay there, that the house was being condemned, and I had to find somewhere else to stay. So I moved to my mom's, and that's when they said that the whole reserve was being evacuated. And even with that was hard because I already had my 2 boys plus 1 on the way, and they had us in a little camper.
They had hay bales around our trailer at that time, and it was so cold. I had a newborn.
Being flooded out and everything, it was hard, and it is hard. All our stuff that was at my dad's, someone had actually moved into my father's house. After all the water was gone, they moved in there and started cleaning up and threw out everything. So now I was left with nothing. My father told me, there's some evacuee payment thing. I've never received anything. I put my name in there, put whatever I lost in that house. Never got nothing.
I have 10 children, but 2 of them were living in the city at the time for school, and the rest of the 8 kids we had to live in 2 hotel rooms, and they weren't for 8 kids. It's not very big to accommodate them. One thing's going on in this room and another thing's going on in this room, and and it's kind of like a shock to them, and they're wondering why we couldn't stay home. For me to be healthy too, my kids have to be healthy. Being a dad, I try and be a responsible dad, and I make sure my kids come first. So seeing them being, frustrated and stuff like that, it takes a toll on everybody.
This was the band office, now moldy and abandoned, haunted by memories.
Felt lesser, lost in the ground, colonized and aggressive. Thoughts in my mind became my own oppressor. And if you're feeling this, it probably upsets you.
She was a sweetheart.
We're stuck in overcrowded houses because We have no housing really on the reserve right now. And the house that I was living in was good, but then it's not good anymore because of the mold, I guess, because there's too much moisture coming from underneath the house, and now my house is no good. And then my little boy got sick, so then we had to stay with my parents. And emotionally, it's bringing a lot of stress to me and my family. Like, it's just chaos in that house right now, crowded into a little 10 by 10 room to have all of their belongings in that one little room, and to be living there with 13 people and under one 3-bedroom house right now is pretty crazy.
Where there's one family staying, there's 4 of them. So mostly there's like 17 of us in the house. They sleep here on the floor, and all the kids their stuff because it's so crowded. They have no place to put their stuff. My baby girl sleeps on the couch or sleeps on the floor. We have a couple mattresses in the hallway.
It's like my dad is stressed and my mom is stressed and everybody's just stressed out there. It's just chaos. It's overcrowding.
Little Saskatchewan First Nation kept the school alive throughout the 8 years of flood displacement for 35 youngsters, from kindergarten to grade 8. But there is no secondary school, so young students had to travel long distances every day to get to school, or move to Winnipeg, almost 300 kilometers away. These kids being away from family added stress and risks of depression, suicide, drugs, alcohol, teenage pregnancy, gangs, and dropping out of school.
I think about all the kids who were babies and that were born over there. And when they only know the city life now as it is. And when they come back, they're going to experience what they call culture shock.
I've been living in Fairford ever since the evacuation. I thought it kind of sucked because I got separated from my family. The only close person I'm to right now is just my granny. And the rest of my family's in Winnipeg.
Well, ever since the evacuation happened, we started losing friends, family, to violence, drugs, and some will overdose. All because of the flood, because that's all they've been saying, like, I want to go home. But the community too is kind of messing with our heads, saying that we'll be home this time, and then that's what some people get mad about too, that they want to go home and they'll just end up killing themselves because they know we're not going home. An addict myself, and sometimes I would think too about going home, but by the looks of it, it just seems like we're not.
Most of our youth are gone, and it's changing because every time they come back for like treaty days or something, they're already growing up. Like somebody, the ones I knew back in the day, they're adults now, young moms and parents, some of them. It's crazy. There's a bunch of athletes in the reserve, just that there's nothing for them to do, no competition, no teammates, no. And then we basically got together, whoever's around, made a team. Now we're getting there. Well, what I do, I try and encourage everybody who's ever in the community, young adults, young parents, to come out and get together and play ball, have fun, socialize at the same time. The more important thing is to bring us together more closer, looking for just to have fun, something for them to stay out of trouble and play sports with the people who's ever left in the reserve anyways.
We need our homes, we need to be together, and we just need to put our family back together.
We need to get the homes done and bring our people back. That's what I think.
In 2018, some displaced people returned to new homes in their community after 7 years. It felt like a lifetime.
people started coming back, it was like a little bit of life got breathed back into the reserve again.
Ninunde anegiwe, weepa, ninunde anegiwe. Ninunde anegiwe, ninunde anegiwe, weepa, ninunde anegiwe.
They got bilingual strength within them. I've been praying for the missing, shed some tears for all the rest. I've been trying to find some answers, but it hasn't hit me yet. I've been waiting on a storm to come and wash us all away. Tell me as creator, but that's all they got to say. And if it was so simple, all we had to do was pray. These demons wouldn't haunt me every day, waiting on